Good evening, Chatterheads, and welcome to another edition of The Other Side of the Mic. So, this week, it's going to be a little bit different because, as you know, the past few weeks, I've had indie wrestlers, managers, production managers, one musician. However, I've never had a musician where we're almost not just going to do a wrestling talk show, a music talk show, we're going to have a sports talk show. On that note, I would like to welcome Rick Soeprasetyo from F.A.T.E, also known as From Ashes to Embers, onto the show. Rick, how are you doing tonight?
Man? Oh, good. I'm great, man. Good to talk to you. We totally haven't talked for the last 10 minutes either.
No, not at all. So, with you being the guest tonight, I'm going to leave it up to you. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with sports talk? Do you want to start with the band talk? I figured that's where you were going.
Start spreading the news.
So, for those that didn't catch Midweek Meltdown last night with myself and Tommy Guns, I made the comment that I'm pretty sure Rick is the only other Yankees fan I have met in the 815 music scene. So during the playoffs and everything, we have been talking, especially during the Cleveland Yankees series. We were sharing back and forth because there were times we couldn't be watching the game.
It was a great series. Great series.
So my first question is this, all right? And everyone talks about Aaron Judge against Ohtani. Do you think Stanton may outshine Judge during this World Series?
100%. 100%. So Giancarlo Stanton, right? I'm notorious for calling out facts in sports, right? Whether it's my team or not. So Aaron Judge is not an October player. Now, the last two games he had against Cleveland were more of his normal batting average, looking normal. But Stanton has been on fire every single game against the Royals, every game against the Guardians. And it's almost like this is Stanton's last stand. You can almost see it like that hunger. You know, when he's up to bat, he's eyeing every pitch. And he's not, you know, where Judge is like a home run hitter. Giancarlo, he's got power, but he is been a contact hitter. Like he almost hit for the cycle that game. He was just missing a triple. It's, you know, so yeah, if I were to tell you right now, if it's Giancarlo Stanton or Aaron Judge, I'm going Stanton all day.
Could you almost say Stanton with you just saying that he's more of a contact hitter. He's almost filling the role of what Derek Jeter used to be.
Yeah, just with more power, right?
God, yes.
More power. And I mean, you know, he's only DH, so we can't even talk about his fielding, but yeah, you know, he's filling that role of, you know, almost like what Jazz Chisholm was filling, you know, after we acquired him in the second half of the season. Jazz Chisholm was doing that. So Stanton's just been lights out, and we're getting Cortez back too. I'm excited, but you know, I was really happy the powers that be didn't give Judge MVP for the ALCS because Stanton deserved it. There's no question. Right. It's not even a conversation.
Well, you look at it too, or whatever, in the series with the Guardians. Without Stanton, I'm pretty sure we wouldn't be having this conversation about the Yankees.
No. I mean, possibly, because Judge did get hot in the last two games, possibly, but it definitely would have went game 7. And the problem with going game 7, home field advantage wouldn't have mattered as much because now the Guardians would have won 2 straight. Yep. Now the momentum's gone. It don't matter where you're playing at that point, in my opinion.
Well, that's like when they won the first game of that series. I was actually out getting tacos and everything, and I watched them win. I'm like, oh, this is bad. And the person I was with, they're like, why is this bad? I'm like, because now they have life. If you don't remove the life, you're in trouble.
What a monumental way to gain momentum by, you know, Judge with the home run, the 2-run homer to tie it, Stanton with a home run right after takes the lead. It's like, oh my God, here it is. Right. And then just for Cleveland, you just pull the rug out. Joe Kenzie Knoll and oh Lord, I'm forgetting the other guy's name.
Fry. Wasn't it Fry?
Thank you. Yeah. That was just like, and I'm not a big Cleveland fan from a couple years back in 2022 when they knocked us out. So, you know, I was like, man, here we go again.
So, all right. So instead of talking about the past, let's talk about the future. We have game 1 on Friday night. And I believe game 1 is in LA, correct?
Game 1 and 2. Yep.
Game 1 and 2 are in LA. The question I have for you, who strikes first in regards to a home run? Ohtani or Judge?
Have they announced the batting order?
I don't believe they have yet.
So Judge has been batting. So it was going
Third.
Torres, Soto, Judge, right? Wasn't that?
Yep.
That's what it was. And
Yeah.
Ohtani bats first. Oh. And the Yankees will be up to bat first. Okay, so Judge is hot. Does he stay hot with this many days off? Does Ohtani stay hot with this many days off? Who has more pressure? I would say the Yankees have more pressure on them because of the Dodgers' recent World Series win. The fan base, it's a real thing. Like when the Blackhawks won their third Stanley Cup, it was like party time. Hell yeah. When the Blackhawks won their first Stanley Cup, it was like, come on, come on.
Yes.
It's a mindset. I'm a Lakers fan too, so like it gets that way. But with the Yankees not winning in 15 years and being expected to, and then Judge getting his massive contract, bringing Stanton, yeah, I think it's the pressure's more on New York. If we go by history, we would say Judge is going to strike out his first at bat.
Yep.
And then he'll make contact his second. And where that goes, who knows?
Right.
Ohtani is facing Garrett Cole. I'm going to say Judge homers first. If the home runs happen in game 1. Because Cole doesn't give up the homers. Now, I don't know about, I believe it's like Konerke, or I forget how to pronounce his name. Hodge was just telling me about it because Hodge is, big Dodgers fan. But he's going to give up more homers than Garrett Cole based on how long he plays. I mean, in the overall scope of the whole season, he'll have more homers on him than Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's ERA is higher than him, but, it's kind of skewed with how it happens. So I'm going to say if there's a homer in game 1, Judge homers first. If neither of them homer in game 1, Ohtani takes game 2 because, as we know, Rodon is susceptible to home runs.
That's true. So I guess the ultimate question is now, because Ohtani and Judge are 1 and 2 in regards to home runs this season, who had the better outing this series?
The series?
Yeah, as a whole.
Like, as a whole. So we're talking fielding and everything, and Ohtani's only playing DH.
We're just gonna go batting on this one because offense, when it comes to Judge in center field, yes, he's a great center fielder, but as you mentioned, he just got that big contract. He doesn't go all out. He doesn't lay out for the ball. He protects himself.
His biggest strength in the outfield is his arm to throw in.
God, yeah.
Batting. Who has a better? I'm going to say Ohtani has a better batting average. I'm going to say Judge has more home runs, and I'm going to say Ohtani has more RBIs. Stolen bases, Ohtani all day. So I guess Ohtani would have the better series numbers-wise. Yeah, I would, objectively speaking. As a Yankees fan, Ohtani's going 0 for 16 the whole way through. You know what I'm saying? But objectively, as a baseball fan, yeah, Ohtani will have the better overall series.
Okay. But you're saying 0 for 16. You're at that point, it sounds like you're making the assumption we will see them bat at least 4 times a game. So a lot of contact.
Yes. And I see a lot of, and that's actually been the common theme in the playoffs this year. If you've been following other series, runners left on base is a nasty stat in this playoffs. Like the Mets left 22 men on base against the Dodgers. The Yankees they left a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact number, but I was getting mad about it. So I do think, and I also think that the Dodgers manager and the way they use their bullpen is a little bit smarter than us. But now both teams are fully rested. So the bullpen is only going to matter if your starter is struggling. So I think I'm going to say the Dodgers go to their bullpen first, but I'm going to say their bullpen outperforms ours.
See, I'm loving the whole all-around analytical that we're getting into right now, because for someone who may just be tuning in to the World Series and not know if the answers are being given here, place your bets now.
Yeah.
You know,
DraftKings, I mean, you could take this advice all you want. You'd probably be pretty accurate. And I always say I'm a sports fan. I love sports. I'm a sports fan first. I'm a Yankees fan second. So like the sports fan in me is really excited for probably one of the most epic World Series matchups of all time. The Yankees fan in me wants them to sweep them 4-0. So that's where I'm at. But I'm excited, and I've been excited for this whole playoffs. Like the Mets were unreal to make the playoffs on the last game of the year and get as far as they did. I thought the Royals didn't deserve to be there, and the whole entire country was happy when Houston got eliminated. I mean, it's been a great playoff. Great
course. Well, that's even like when it comes down to the Dodgers and the Yankees. I have been saying for the better part of a decade, I want to see a Dodgers-Yankees World Series.
Yeah,
and everyone
in older baseball days.
And everyone, whenever I'd say that, they'd look at me like, you're fucking crazy. It's never going to happen. Over the last 5 years, it's like, it's getting more probable. And here we are.
And so it's good for baseball. Baseball, is, you talk about the business side of sports. Baseball is going to make money.
God, yeah.
I mean, a massive amount of money. So it's good for baseball. You don't want it to be Dodgers, Yankees every single year for the next 10 years, right? You want to, as a sports fan, you want to see consistent, or you want to see inconsistency, new teams in there, the underdogs. I want to see the Yankees in there every year. So, but this year, I mean, everyone I've talked to is hyped. Whether you want the Yankees to win, the Dodgers to win, you want them both to lose, you want an asteroid to hit the stadium. Everyone's hyped about it.
Well, speaking of the MLB making money off the series, did you hear what the cheapest ticket at Yankee Stadium was going for?
Well, when they first went on sale, Hodge actually looked. And for those who don't know, Hodge is a guitar player from Ash's Embers. Hodge looked, and at that moment, they were $900, which I was like, that's not terrible considering. And then it was hours later, they hit the resale market, and what's it, like $3,500 now or something?
I know, like the day after they announced the tickets and everything, the cheapest was sitting at just shy of 1,100, and I'm pretty sure that was like almost a week. That was what, like 4 days ago or whatever. So I'm pretty sure they have shot.
Is that for a standing room ticket?
I'm not sure.
I think it is. I think that the cheapest seat is like 3,000.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, it still though.
I could never spend that money and possibly watch my team lose. No way. No way.
See, and that's where it gets kind of funny with sports and everything. You look every year, the value of the biggest party, well, I guess party for them, biggest show for them. And you even see it with WrestleMania. The ticket value just increases out the gate.
Hey, good for them, right? Good for them. Make the money.
Yeah, but unfortunately for people like us or whatever, it's like,
cheap seats all day.
Well, that's like I was looking up. Go ahead.
I hope my nephew doesn't have social media, so he won't see this. I'm taking my nephew to the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis this February. It's his first event other than a house show. So like you're talking a house show for those, like a house show is like your most basic wrestling event. And now I'm going to take him to like a 50,000 person arena and watch. He doesn't know it's his Christmas gift. He's gonna flip.
We were talking about as a group for TLC going out to Indianapolis for Royal Rumble, because first and foremost, I've actually never been to anything outside of an indie show for wrestling.
Oh, but really?
Really, my brother went to the Royal Rumble when it was in St. Louis or Chicago a few years back.
Okay.
And then Tommy, the other host, he was at WrestleMania, I believe, the year Sting went against Triple H. I'm the
went
one
to
who's like
one. I went to WrestleMania 11, the worst
Oh,
one
wow.
ever, according to experts, and I had a blast. I loved it. I was like 9 years old. Awesome.
Well, yeah. So I've never been to like a WWE or an AEW or even a TNA or NWA, And honestly, we were talking about the Royal Rumble in February in Indianapolis because personally, Indianapolis is one of my favorite cities to go visit and just putz around in.
Yeah, it's a cool town.
The music scene isn't bad out there, especially on the punk rock side of things. And because I've been out there so many times, it's like I know where to go when you don't have anything going on.
Okay.
However, Tommy's going to fly out here for WrestleMania. We're going to do our WrestleMania watch party like we did last year up in Montana. We are talking about going to WrestleMania when it's in Indianapolis, though.
Yeah. The one thing I struggle with that is it's a 2-night event. And I'd go with like my buddies, but how do I go to WrestleMania without taking my nephews, right?
Right.
Okay, so all right, we got to take the nephews. Now, when you factor that in, it's everything doubles. Like you take your Royal Rumble cost, the price doubles, and now you add another night, so it actually quadruples. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about the WrestleMania. I thought it was going to be in Minneapolis this year, and I was so dead set on, all right, let's do it.
Well,
And then it moved
that's
to
what
Vegas.
that's what we were thinking too. But before they announced Vegas, I saw that there was a huge the city of Minneapolis. They were having like a huge debate back and forth against all the aldermen, alderwomen, all that stuff. And all I could think in my head, do you realize the amount of revenue this is going to generate?
Yeah, a couple $1,000 a human per human.
Yeah, I had a buddy of mine who went to night one of WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia.
Oh,
He said the weeks leading up to it were absolutely insane in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, because you get all the indie companies go there, like GCW and Black Label and all the indies go there. So you got all that going on. You got the conventions, the meet and greets. Then there's always a concert or two. I mean, it's the Super Bowl just for wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. But what I was hearing, I think night one and night two, like premium pass tickets, all that for the seats and all that, was going at, was it 50,000 for Vegas?
Oh no, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, that's like
Peacock is $8.99 a month. Cool.
Yep. That's like my other two hosts for midweek meltdown. They're like, yeah, we're going to Vegas this year. We're going to Vegas. I'm like, you both can go to Vegas. I know if I go to Vegas, it's not just the hotel, it's not the travel, it's not WrestleMania, it's all the other bullshit I am going to get involved with.
$20 for your lunch for a cheeseburger and fries, you're gonna spend $20 easily.
Exactly.
All that, you add it all up, dude. It's a little much.
Our friend Jake Thompson says get a mortgage to go to WrestleMania.
Oh well. I think my house was praised. No. Yeah, hey, look, let's get a plug and get you a sponsorship or something, right? PayPal, paying 12, all about it. Let's go.
Dude, we've been trying so jokingly of doing that and whatnot, but I'm just having fun doing stuff like this. The moment it turns into sponsorships and endorsements, it gets to become a headache.
Yeah, then you probably can't show all my cool Yankees gear.
Yeah, something like that, I have to be told who I can have on and everything, but it's like, no, I'd rather reach out to people and be like, hey, you want to be on this?
I want to hear you do a Blue Chew promo.
We joked about applying for a Blue Chew sponsorship. We really did.
You could get it. They give them to just about everyone, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, why not? I'm sure it'd be funny as hell. Anybody on the TLC page need a free sample?
I mean, probably. Hodge wants to know how he can watch along with us.
So right now we are live on Facebook, the Tables, Ladders, and Chair podcast Facebook page, as well as our YouTube page. So whichever is easier.
On Facebook live now or YouTube. Cool.
Uh,
Man,
all right.
he's gonna come in here and comment some Dodgers stuff. I know it.
Just don't send them the link to the StreamYard, and then he can't come in.
Oh, okay, cool, got it. Cool.
That's the best part about the StreamYard and everything compared to when we used to do this. We figured out the Facebook Live thing. We're able to bring on whoever we want. Anyway, back to what we were talking about though with the Yankee. We're gonna wrap up the Yankees and the Dodgers talk. All right.
It's gonna be a great series.
How do you see this playing out?
Yankees in 7.
Yankees in 7?
It has to go 7 in my head because forget the fact I'm a Yankees fan. This really could be the greatest World Series of all time. It really could. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, Yankees in 7. Yeah, Yankees in 7, a 2-run game to win it. I mean, just neck and neck, close games all the way through. Epic pitching. Both teams are healthy, 100% healthy, full roster. I think because of the magnitude of this World Series, and you can say it's favoritism to the Yankees and Dodgers. I'll own that. Of course, the Yankees and Dodgers get favoritism. You got two teams in major money markets for MLB. The officiating is going to be probably the best that you've ever seen in baseball because of how much pressure is on it and how big this World Series is.
Well,
Yankees in 7, win by 2. And I think Carlos Stanton is the MVP. That's what I'm hoping for.
All right. The final question I have in regards to the Yankees and Dodgers. All right. Does Ohtani end up pitching at any point?
If he does, it's in Game 7. If he does, it's in Game 7. That would be it. And it would be like Game 7, bottom or top of the 9th inning. And they've just exhausted the bullpen because of how tough this series has been. Could I see it happening? Yeah, I could see it happening. Is it beneficial for them to do it? He hasn't pitched all year. Would it even be beneficial for them to do it, though? Hard to say. On the side of the coin, none of the batters of the Yankees have faced him this year. So it could go both ways.
Mm-hmm. All right. So moving on. As I mentioned, Rick is the vocalist of From Ashes to Embers. Rick, you sent over some tracks. What song should we play first?
Man, Cast Aside. That's the first one on the EP we just put out. Yeah.
All right. So, From Ashes to Embers, their song Cast Aside.
Now he's unmuted.
Yeah, now I'm unmuted. I'm still figuring out the whole having music playing and everything like that.
We're learning as we go.
Of course.
Cast Aside is a cool track. Cast Aside is it's about overcoming addiction, and how you're perceived, right? So I went through a little weirdness with alcohol and didn't get in no trouble or nothing, but I had a night where I woke up the next day. I don't remember where I was, how I got there, so on and so forth. And I just said, okay, I'm done. And I went 6 months sober, cold turkey, not a sip, right? And it's funny when you start to better yourself, how certain groups of people look at you differently. Like you don't get invited out to things as much. Bartenders, like when you go up and it's like, yo, throw the fight is awesome. Bartenders will look at you weird. It's like, yeah, can I get a Pepsi? Just a Pepsi with ice, like it's, yeah. So that's what Cast Aside's about. Pretty deep track. If you read through the lyrics, which on our YouTube, you can actually read all the lyrics. So that's cool. But yeah, it's actually a pretty deep song.
And mentioning the whole when, you stop drinking, going to bars, stuff like that. There was a point a few years back where I was heavily cutting back on drinking and I would stick just non-alcoholic beers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd walk into a bar, which all my friends in the Joliet area that were bartenders, they knew what I was doing. Sure. They knew my logic behind it. But I went down to Texas for a training seminar, walked in a bar, got a shot of Jack and a Bush NA. And the bartender looked at me like, the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, you'll understand in a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone there. I didn't, know anything around. Yeah, it's like have a shot to calm the nerves. And then I just drank non-alcoholics all night. And she was like, but you had a shot. I'm like, I had one shot compared to X amount of beers that don't mean shit.
3 beers and then another shot and 3 more beers. And then the next thing you know, you drank a bottle of Jameson.
Exactly.
That was me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm glad I was able to like reel it in before it became a major problem. So that's that.
So with that being the case, and now that we've talked about From Ashes to Embers, why don't you tell us a little more about the band, how you guys got started, what you've got going on in the works? You said you just released a new EP.
Yeah.
What you got?
So we're a 6-piece alternative metal band from the Northern Illinois area, Elgin, Rockford. My dog's barking. We write our own music. We record ourselves. We outsource for mixing and mastering. We just put out our second EP. Our first EP came out in February. Our second one came out in September. And then now we're writing right now. But we struck the right chord at the right time. So we became a band in January of 2021. Our first show was in June. We headlined the Apollo Theater. We all come from different projects over the past. And, our first show was the Apollo Theater, right? It sold out. And then, we started playing the circuit, right? We played Whiskey's and it sold out. And we played District, it sold out, and so on and so forth. And it really started to gain some very organic, real attention. Now, like, I'm the first one to tell you, it's like our Spotify shows we have 900 monthly listeners. Those 900 listeners are all real humans who have all bought a ticket, you know, so that's a pride thing I have. And we don't tour, we don't push the envelope in that aspect because we're all, you know, we all have careers or wives or kids, and it's not a goal of ours to tour. We want to play really dope shows in really awesome places 6 to 10 times a year, you know, and it's for me, comparing From Ashes to Embers to prior projects, it's really cool to like be able to write my own lyrics and bounce ideas off of Emily, who plays the keys and does the female vocals. Um, and it's been a growing process for me, big time, as far as, you know, whereas I like to call prior projects, you know, kind of like stick to a formula versus this one, this, you know, From Ashes to Embers is more, we're going to do what we want to do. You'll either like it or you won't. And if you don't, that's okay, because we'll still have fun at a show, you know, like, but what I've been hearing lately is from people that they actually like the music, and not, oh, I had a blast at your show. It's, yo, I really enjoy the lyrics of this song. And that, I mean, that's massive. You know what kind of a compliment that is.
Yes.
And yeah, that's what we do. We're putting out a vinyl record, and I can't really, it's supposed to come out Saturday. We got our shipping confirmation. We got the test prints. Everything's good. It's paid for. We're hoping it releases Saturday, but if you know anything about vinyl records, production delays are as common as the sun rising, you know?
Yep.
What else we got going on? We're playing the Rave in Milwaukee tomorrow night for the first time. So that is a definite bucket list. And then, I mean, of course, I got to talk about, we played Louder in Life 2023. That was insane.
I would say, how was that experience?
I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and you're gonna know exactly what I'm gonna say. It's gonna hit you right where it needs to hit you.
Chaotic has entered the chat.
What's up, Chaotic? He's an OG. So Louder Than Life, playing Louder Than Life was that dream you had. You've had it. I know you've had this dream where you walk onto the stage and you look out and see the crowd and you don't know where the heads end. It was that dream. And then the sound was perfect. There were no sound issues, and you didn't trip and fall, and you didn't mess up a part. And the crowd, you know, I mean, we brought like 50 people down there with us, which was pretty dope. But in our quadrant, we got this number from the security guy, so it's kind of with a grain of salt. In our quadrant, there was over 10,000 people, but under 15. So,
still,
you know, to have, oh, dude, biggest show I ever played. So to have that many people actually enjoy the music, and then we had a wall of death, and they participated, and then we signed autographs for like 2 hours straight, and it was so cool. It's like, and everyone who got to meet us, they got to really meet us. It's like, yeah, man, we're just regular dudes out here, and females. We're just out here playing music, having a great time doing it, and we're connecting. And I think we connect because our music is a very unique combination of different influences, and lyrical content is relatable. It's heavy, it's deep. We're not afraid to talk about something really messed up. We're not afraid to talk about if somebody did us wrong. We're not afraid to push the envelope in styles that we do. You know, I mean, our song Omen has a little bit of hip hop in it. So there's just this thing, and I don't know what it is. We like to say it's an anomaly, that Fate is an anomaly. From Ashes to Embers is an anomaly. It was never meant to happen. And it did. And I mean, we're just blessed. And I really can't stress how important Emily is to this project. Like, she has really expanded my mind and like added this fresh take on metalcore, is basically the best way I could put that.
Well, I believe I saw you guys when you played at the Forge, like in the very beginning of everything.
With Wage War, yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And at that point, you could already, from just personal standpoint, standing out in the crowd watching, you could already start to see the momentum start to build.
Yeah, that was
And
our
build.
third show. That was
I
our
would say
third. Well, we had a private party. That don't count, right? So we played the Apollo.
it
We
depends
played
what
with
style it depends what style of music you're playing, because private parties sometimes turn out better than actual shows.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was like 100 people there. Okay. So we played Apollo, our first show. We played Whiskey's, our second, for my birthday party. And then we played a private party with all our homies, mainly because we were supposed to play Rock House, but the COVID lockdown thing happened again, the second wave of them.
Mhm.
So we played a private party. And then our next show after that was Wage War at the Forge. It was us versus me and Wage War. So you saw our third show. That was our third show as a band.
And as I said, you could see the momentum building. You could see the swell of everything that was to come. And it seems like everything is still building and growing. You mentioned you're playing the Rave tomorrow night, and I believe you're playing with the Funeral Portrait.
Yeah. And they're like that, only on a way grander scale. They just hit number 2 on Billboard Rock behind Linkin Park. Like, come on. I respectfully, I had never heard of them. Emily had heard of them. So I'm checking them out. And I opened their Spotify, and the first thing I see is like 12 million streams. I'm like, how have I never heard of these guys? And then when we got on the show, they've been very interactive with us, like on social media with our promoting and stuff. And that I love seeing that, because that's a band they know where they came from. You know what I mean? They know exactly where they came from. And I respect that. Hardcore.
Yep. I can understand exactly what you mean by that one.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think music needs more of that nowadays, because you said it best. It shows that they remember where they came from, and a lot of bands forget that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Non-Point's really good at that. Head PE's really good at that. They're good
Mm-hmm.
at interacting, social media, that doing the groundwork, street teaming, that kind of thing. And I won't name them. I've played with bands that are not. I've played with bands that are the exact opposite, and we had terrible interaction. And I try to look at everything from two sides of a coin. And those kind of bands, I look at them as like, hey, you feel that way because you feel like you've accomplished something, and you've accomplished more than me. So okay, cool. But like, we put our pants on the same way, and I probably put mine on little bit looser than yours. So it's, I guess, I just don't get that world, man. Like, it's never been me. I've always been the guy, like, I'm the guy who, like, when I have tickets to a show, I like to like hand deliver them to people, because it's like, I don't get to see everybody all the time. So it's like, oh, how's it going, man? I ain't seen you in forever. Yeah, here's your tickets. But anyways, like, so for other bands who are on a way bigger scale than me to be that way.
Well, we've got some comments coming in.
What's up, Rob? Hey, so since we're here and Rob's here, the reason Emily is in from Ashes Embers is because of Rob. He referred her to us before they were dating or anything. And he was like, I know this girl. I've been friends with her forever, blah, blah, blah. So Rob gets love there. Without Rob, that never happens. So,
well, speaking of Emily.
I knew if I told all you guys we were doing this, it's not just about music. It's about like wrestling and sports. And we've been talking Yankees. So Hodge Hodge might not be, there he is.
Oh God. Eventually I'll figure out how to have multiple people to where I can actually start doing full band interviews and everything. But right now it's just
do that.
It might be fun. I've seen people do it, but at the same point, it seems like those people who are doing those interviews, they have a script, they have a layout.
Yeah.
And you and I right now, we're just flowing through everything.
For the record, we've talked about nothing. We talked 5 minutes. See, there he is, man.
There he is.
Hey, go Dodgers, baby. Go right on home. Right on home. So, we talked for like 10 minutes before this about sports, and that was it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, ask away. I'm an open book.
Exactly. And now we're into the music aspect of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Which, on that note, what song should we play next?
Down the Drain?
I don't have that one.
I didn't send you that one.
No.
What did I send you?
You sent me Cast Aside, The Omen, which you had mentioned that one earlier, and The Gods Will Weep.
Yeah, that one.
That one? All right. This is The Gods Will Weep from Ashes to Embers.
I will be done. Forgotten by those I once believed. I will break these chains, enslaving those. This is the first time, and I will be your love. You won't get this back. I have done. With this, I lift away. I am here to accept the pain. I'm done. I'm going to be born and I will be done. God will wait. God will wait. Soul control my destiny. Take my sanity. You don't control. This is the way it is. Your way to escape. Don't play the I am done with your spoken away. Your eternal into face. I'm done.
And that was The Gods Will Weep from Ashes to Embers. And honestly, I'm enjoying listening to you guys. I am.
That's heavy.
During the last song segment, we had a bit of an update, which is kind of funny how that happened because now we're going to get into the wrestling talk of the podcast. But apparently, according to Chaotic, Chris Jericho just won the Ring of Honor title from Mark Briscoe.
El Nueve.
And then Rob had to throw in that shock that Jericho is still going. He ain't what he used to be, but he still manages to go. And it was a ladder match.
Did Big Bill interfere? Somebody tell us. Did Big Bill interfere? I love Big Bill. Big Cass, W. Morrissey, whatever you want to call him.
You know what? I'm happy that Big Cass
tall, and you can't teach that.
You know what? I'm happy that he has found his stride and is making a name for himself. without Enzo. No offense to Enzo, but it's Enzo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he,
so,
just whatever. Jericho.
You know what though? Jericho, he does still manage to go in the ring. Yeah, you can tell he's hit the point of his age where he's like, I don't need to look good anymore.
Well, the thing that is kind of hitting me is that his job is to make me hate him, and I'm slowly realizing that he's doing a freaking great job doing it. Because
oh god, yeah,
man, I can't stand him. But at the same time, I'm where my head went just there when I was thinking about it. I was like, God, who's gonna beat him? And right there, I'm hooked. Like that's the whole goal of a heel is oh, and I'm like, oh shit, he is doing a good job. Darn it. So
and even more than that, I actually was able to go see Fozzy when they were at the Forge, not last year or earlier this year.
Fozzy's not bad.
No, they put on one hell of a show, you know. And the best part is I was there with my brother, and I point out to him, like, I can tell you their entire set list. And he's like, how? If you looked at Jericho's pants, it literally had every song they played that night somewhere on his pants.
No way.
Yes.
It's for example, like some kind of order. So if he needs to remember.
No, it was all scattered around randomly. Like at one point, I'm looking and I see the word enemy written on it. I'm like, they're not gonna play that throwback, are they? Sure as shit they did.
You into any older Fozzy, like early to mid 2000s Fozzy?
Some of it.
Yeah, some of it. Right. I'm the same way. I got into them in like 03. When I knew they existed. I had never known before. Hodge is reading my brain. So that's what I was gonna say. I met Stuck Mojo. I want to say at Bar 3 in Rockford. If that probably is right. About that time frame, it would have been Bar 3. So yeah. But he mentioned Chris Jericho, and I'm like, wrestler? He goes, well, yeah, but he's our singer. And I'm like, right. Step up our stage wardrobe. Man, let's all rock Yankees gear. I got enough gear for everyone. It'll be too big for you, Emily, but everybody else, I got you.
You know what? You should honestly make a bet with Mikey right now.
No.
On the podcast.
We can't do this. We can't because, like, you know that old saying, when you bet against your team's going to lose because you bet against your team. But if you bet on your team's going to lose. So it's like, don't bet anything involving your team at all. No way.
Well, in regards to wrestling and everything, and you know what? We'll just start with this one right here. Rob commented saying, just y'all wait till Joe Hendry starts collecting titles across the Wrestleverse like Thanos and Infinity Stones. What is your thoughts on the current wrestling landscape?
Well, let's talk about TNA and how great it's been.
Okay, let's start with TNA.
So since Rob said it, Bound for Glory is this weekend. Joe Hendry and Nick Nemeth. I don't think Joe Hendry's winning because I think Joe Hendry is going to show up in the Royal Rumble this year. So
but
that's my take on TNA because TNA and WWE have been working together. So I don't think he's going to win it because I also think the person to win that title is going to be Moose again. I really do. I think Moose is going to win that title back.
All right. Well,
so there's my
even if Joe Hendry, even if Joe Hendry does win the title against Nick Nemeth, he could still appear in the Royal Rumble. And isn't his contract actually up at the end of the year with TNA?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we know he's coming.
Yeah, and I just don't know. Well, no, you bring up a good point because Hard to Kill is in early January. And since they work together, he could. All right, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
I'm not going to lie. In my head, part of the reason I want to go to the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis, just in case Joe Hendry does show up, the pop is going.
And Jordan Grace,
Oh God, yes.
Big Mama
I mean,
Pump.
maybe not so much Jordan Grace because she's already made her WrestleMania debut and her Royal Rumble debut, but that whole stadium's gonna be just I don't
I'm
know.
ready. I'm going. I'm ready. My nephew will have no idea who he is. That's cool, nephew. You got John Cena coming. You got all your guys. Cody Rhodes will take his ugly self right into the ring, and you'll be all right. Joe Hendricks for guys like me and Hodge at the event. You know what I'm saying? He's our guy.
Exactly.
Dude, I remember watching
And you know
Joe
what?
Hendry in like What Culture Pro Wrestling in like 2017. Matt Pickett got me into it. And then it became like Defiant or something like that. But that's where I discovered Joe Hendry. And then he went to Ring of Honor. Man, it's wild.
And it's funny when you think about it and you look back. And it's even, funnier when you look back at wrestlers who started as just, I guess, side pieces, whether it be security or just random odd jobs. And then you realize that I believe Joe Hendry was actually Rusev's ambassador.
I did not know that.
Well, let me see if I can do this.
I did not know that. That's new to me.
Let me see really quick. I'm trying to. Yep. Okay. So, 1 second. Share screen. There he is right there.
Oh my God. That's great. That is classic greatness. Look at that. Future world champ. Stands up straight. Yep. Suit's looking fly. He's on it. That's hilarious. I did not know that.
Let's see. Joe Hendry wins Rumble because R-Truth works with him the whole time thinking he's Cody Rhodes.
Dude, I'm ready for the R-Truth John Cena showdown in the middle of the Rumble. Let's go. Sign me up.
You think that's where we'll get their showdown?
I think you'll get like 8 seconds, and then the Miz will probably throw R-Truth out or something, right? And we'll probably get like that. That's what I think.
How much longer do you think R-Truth has with WWE?
In the role he's in, 10 years? I mean, he's in a perfect role where his body's not taking massive bumps. His style is more of a sports entertainment style, and the gimmick is gold. That gimmick,
yes.
It hasn't gotten old, surprisingly. The only time I ever thought R-Truth was getting stale was when he was doing the 24/7 7-Eleven Intercontinental Hardcore Champion. That thing, that was getting a little stale. That got a little stale. But dude, R-Truth is great. I actually met him. I got to meet R-Truth when I worked at Mobile, third shift. There was a house show in Rockford. He came in to get coffee, and I met him. And you know what's funny about that? I called him K-Quick.
Oh, geez.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yep. Because when he went to TNA, he was K-Crush, and then he was Ron the Truth Killings. And my brother was like, yeah, that's K-Quick. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I've always known him as K-Quick. Yep.
Well, I mean, to be fair or whatever, he probably appreciated that because he's like, oh, you know some of my other work.
He knows my name from 10, 15 years ago. Right on.
Oh, God. Oh, crap. All right. So, overall, your opinion of the wrestling scene. We talk about TNA. Let's get into AEW. What do you think? What are your thoughts on AEW? I know you go to a lot of their shows or whatever when they're at the home arena or whatever.
Now Arena.
Yeah.
Yep. In Chicago. And I've been to a couple at the United Center. I always have a great time. Always. Every AEW show I've ever been to has been a great time. Their pay-per-views are just, man, it's just unreal how intense and fun it is on all aspects, from the laughing fun, like MJF type fun, to like Swerve and Hangman in a cage, right? So the problem with AEW is when you're not on pay-per-view. Is going to sound weird, but being a musician, it makes sense. When you run the same venue 5 or 6 times in 1 year, people are going to pick and choose which event they go to.
Yep.
And that is advice for musicians too. That is the exact same thing. I'm not like AEW Dynamite is coming to the Now Arena, or is it Wintrust? It might be Wintrust, but tickets are $20 and there's a code right now to get 20% off. So they're $14, right? Or 30% off. So they're $14. And I'm like, man, it's Dynamite. It's Dynamite, you know? And then it becomes, oh, it's Dynamite and Rampage tapings and Ring of Honor tapings. It's a long night. So if I'm in charge of AEW, right, and I'm treating it like a business, just like I treat my band like a business, right? First thing I'm going to do is we're going to run Chicago once. Combine that with Ring of Honor's old model when Ring of Honor was very popular. We're going to combine that into one show a year. It's either going to be a pay-per-view or a TV. But on that TV, just like Ring of Honor, if you're going to do 4 hours with Rampage and all this, just record 4 episodes of Dynamite in that TV taping, just like Ring of Honor did. Number one, cost cutting, massive cost cutter. Okay. Number two, the aesthetic of an arena being full because you're not oversaturating that market. Okay. Number three, if shit happens, you can edit it.
Yep.
And as somebody who is like, you know, you're kind of breaking the fourth wall there, but when your wrestling is a television show. So if your television show looks like people are bored there, it's just what it is, you know? And I'm not bored when I watch Dynamite. I seek out certain episodes of Dynamite, like there's a match I want to watch, but most of the time, like I don't give a shit about Top Flight because I've never had a reason to give a shit about them. But I give a lot of shit about the Moxley story right now. The Adam Cole and MJF story, Swerve story, I'm super into as well. Jack Perry's making me hate him, which is fantastic. I think the Young Bucks and Okada are kind of right now. But, you know, there's stuff that I'm into on AEW for sure. The biggest problem with AEW, or another problem with AEW, is WWE got really good. Yeah. Really good. I can't remember a time when WWE was this good. Maybe like Mania 17 era and Mania 7 era. Because Mania 7 was the first one I watched. So to me, that's like one of the best eras ever, right? WrestleMania 7 is one of my favorites. So
I would say the first Mania I ever watched was actually 14.
14 with Austin and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. So WWE though is great right now, like really damn good and worth the time to watch. You don't feel like you're bored. You know, there's segments in there where like I'm gonna go to the bathroom, but then you're like, oh, okay, Gunther's coming up next. Let's go. Who's he slapping around? You know, so that's But wrestling as a whole is healthy, I would say, right? Like, we're making money.
So on that note, let's get to the big fish in the pond, WWE. And the only question I have for you is, who do you see winning at Crown Jewel, Gunther or Cody Rhodes?
Gunther, because Kevin Owens and or Randy Orton cost him the match.
Well, I know Orton was trying to get a match with Owens at Crown Jewel, which I'm honestly surprised. Nick Aldis had told him that he can't make the match because the decision is coming from higher up. I am honestly surprised we did not see Randy Orton on Monday Night Raw this past Monday confronting, because you know who he's got to go confront.
Yeah, I mean, you only need 1 week to tell that story. the thing is, I think he's going to get the match. I think he's going to lose. And I think Kevin Owens cost Cody Rhodes the crown jewel match.
Well, on that, with that being the case and everything, when do we see the Randy Orton heel turn for the title?
On the following episode of SmackDown, when Randy Orton, the SmackDown episode following the pay-per-view that Kevin Owens fights Cody Rhodes again. And Cody Rhodes is going to beat him. And Randy Orton is going to say, hey, you know, when you and Kevin were friends, you gave him a title shot just for no reason. I feel like I deserve one. And Cody's going to say, you know what, Randy, you're right. And they're going to get in the ring, and there's going to be a situation where the ref's back is turned or something. Boop, kick in the nuts, RKO, call it a day. And Randy Orton is going to walk into WrestleMania the champion, and he's going to fight Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes is going to win it back. That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh, you're going with a Rhodes Orton WrestleMania.
I am, and I'm going with Roman Reigns versus The Rock.
Well, I was going to say, a lot of people are saying Randy Orton against John Cena at Mania.
Surprisingly, I think John Cena is going to fight Gunther. Because John Cena is going to win the Elimination Chamber. Cody Rhodes is going to three-peat the Rumble, the first guy in history to do it. That's what I think.
Ooh, interesting.
Yep. I think John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber. Potentially, the other way I could see it going is in the Elimination Chamber, Gunther puts the title on the line.
We haven't seen that in a long time.
Right. And John Cena wins it. That could happen. I've literally thought about that because it's like Punk and Rollins don't need a title. But what I keep coming to is like, who the hell would Cena fight then? Because like, who's he gonna fight? Damian Priest? Like, I don't know.
Punk would make the most sense in that one.
Punk's fighting Rollins, Could fight Austin. Not for the title. That wouldn't happen for the title.
Stone Cold?
It'd probably be. It'd have to be a heel. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The story writing right now.
That's who I was forgetting about. Drew McIntyre fight John Cena.
Oh.
The promos alone. Can you imagine Drew trolling John Cena on Twitter for 2 months? Dude, it'd be great.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm not for that one.
Austin Theory. On the pre-show, maybe.
The pre-show, yeah. All right. So with that being the case, we have come to the end of our time. We have one more track.
Thank you very much for having me, dude.
It's not a problem. It's weird saying we have one more track from Ashes to Embers. I don't like saying two words in the same point. Anyway, the final track of the night is The Omen by From Ashes to Embers, at which point we will come right back. And Rick, you will have the closing words of the show.
Sounds good. Enjoy.
Death of me. Walk away and be the fate you were meant to be. Send someone else to come face me. I want you now. I'll let you know. A second thought. I'll make you know. I belong. Can't fix it when our dreams will bring me crush. My actions will become your memories. Walk away and find a brain of mine to see. Send someone else with your apology. You're just too bad. I want you never had enough. I'll lend you without a second thought. I hate you more than I can love. On borrowed time, I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. Take my warning. Directed straight to your face. Unwanted morning. You vengeance first. You piece of shit. I want you that I've had enough. I'll end you without a second thought. I hate you. I fucking hate you. I swear to you, you're on borrowed time. I want you. I've had enough. I'll lend you. I've had enough of your lies. I hate you. You're disgrace. You are the lie. Only you alone. Heed my warning.
I'm not sure why the whole fade in, fade out thing, it decided to keep going like that.
I don't know, but you were cracking up about something. What I missed.
All right. So in the comments and everything, I'm going to put some up on the board really quick. All right.
Okay.
Going back to the title, the Crown Jewel Championship, the belt, the problem, they
That's
get better.
great. That's great. Go to bed, Rick. I'm off tomorrow. I can sleep in. I'm good.
And then
What up?
now, what made me lose my shit during that song?
Uh-oh.
All right.
I mean, I'll slap him for you. Let's go get him.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks, Rob.
which apparently that got Rob even better. Someone finally made me lose my composure.
You broke Eddie.
Oh, I guess we can't slap him. Oh.
Well, I mean, we could.
Oh, God. All right. So this has been another edition of The Other Side of the Mic. Rick, thank you for coming on to the show. What are your closing thoughts for this week?
Well, this has been a blast. So thank you. And we've been talking about doing it for a while. So we got home and were able to do it. Number 2, go Yankees. Go Yankees. Let's go. Number 3, Will Ospreay is the greatest wrestler ever in the history of ever. And musically, man, anyone listening, if you haven't checked us out, check us out. We're on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, Amazon, all of them. We're on all of them. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, yada, yada, yada. We're playing the Rave tomorrow night in Milwaukee. We're playing the Apollo in Belvedere, Illinois on December 14th with Nonpoint. And then we got a couple shows we're going to be announcing to kick off 2025. We're booked through August at the moment. So
Well,
we got plenty of stuff
shit.
lined up, ready to go.
Well, thank you again for being here tonight, Rick. It's
Thanks
been
for having
fun.
me, man.
On that note, this has been The Other Side of the Mic. I'm your host, Zero, and check out Midweek Meltdown next week with my other co-hosts, Ponyboy and Tommy Guns. Until then, everyone stay safe. Enjoy your Wednesday night.